I'm pretty sure enough years have passed for me to finally say that Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker is my favorite game of all time, and that is why I'm so excited for Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. See, when I finally sat down and got a demo of Ground Zeroes, man, it is basically Peace Walker 2. You are Big Boss. It's still the same little CQC hand pop up. You still had Miller chirping in your ears. You went into missions. It's got all the nerdy stuff you'd want where you're trying to fire your gun, but you have to adjust for wind. It's like, who would put that in their game? Of course it'd be in a Metal Gear game. It's got to be crazy in this giant open world setting, and it's got to push the boundaries of the franchise, but hopefully while keeping the story simple. What worked so well in Peace Walker was that you finally had a simple Metal Gear story, right? Big Boss needs to find out if his mentor is still alive, and you go. And with just that little bit of story, they built such an amazing game. Once I saw Ground Zeroes in action, I said, that is Peace Walker 2, and I'm on board.
The timeline of Metal Gear Solid has always been very interesting to me, and it's cool how it can be divided into two distinct eras. There's the Big Boss era and the Solid Snake era. Big Boss we have from the 60s all the way up to the 90s, and Solid Snake we have from the 90s onward. I've always been a big fan of the Solid Snake era, so to me, it's interesting to see that this game might finally end Big Boss's story, bridging the gap between the 80s and 90s up till Solid Snake.
I'm a sucker for Metal Gear Solid's cutscenes. I know a lot of people hate them, but I love sitting there for 45 minutes and watching these cinematic explorations of characters and places. And in The Phantom Pain, we're going to see that in a more truncated way. Kojima said it's a lot like a TV series now, which means you're going to have a lot more opportunity to explore spaces without the intrusion of somebody phoning you on a codec or something jumping into a cutscene. But what I hope that means, and what excites me about that, is that we'll see more focused storytelling on certain characters in shorter bursts. So we'll learn about this character, we'll see something here, we'll explore a story via gameplay, kind of like the Johnny Sasaki stuff in past games. So it's going to be cool to see how the new cutscene structure plays into showing you more and telling you more without actually taking you away from the new open world gameplay.
One of the most interesting changes in Metal Gear Solid 5 is the fact that it's an open world. It'll be very interesting to see how exactly that affects the way you engage the enemies in stealth. In the past, there have been certain search and clear routines, like ways that the enemy will look for you once you've been spotted and the different alert states. I'm really excited to see how that open world changes those. For example, there's now a pause that will happen, so when you're spotted, you have a few seconds to counter and fire at an enemy that spotted you from a shorter distance away. Could be an interesting change up to the way we tackle stealth games.
One thing Metal Gear Solid 5 is going to have a lot of is fan service. For example, there's a PlayStation exclusive where you'll be able to play through as the original Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation 1. Now, fans are going to love this, getting to play as that character that a lot of people played through experiencing Metal Gear Solid for the first time. It's like one of those Kojima-isms, and I can't wait to see what other things he's going to offer the fans.
One of the coolest things about Metal Gear is the bosses. In Sons of Liberty, there was Dead Cell, and Snake Eater, you had The End, which took some people an hour just to beat. Hideo Kojima is really smart when it comes to creating these characters and these boss fights that are just epic. So please, Hideo Kojima, tell me, what are you going to do with the boss fights? Because I'm really excited for it.
I really love the fact that Hideo Kojima isn't afraid to completely defy expectations with Metal Gear sequels. He really changed the gaming landscape back in '98 with Metal Gear Solid 1, and then every sequel has really just left me completely surprised. I mean, the jump to 2 with the switch to Raiden, 3 taking place during the Cold War, and then 4 just being a series of vignettes just felt different than anything else I'd played. And so that's what really has me excited about Phantom Pain and Ground Zeroes, is that I don't know what's coming up.
Kept you waiting, huh?
You know, we see these teasers with this guy in a hospital and these fire dragons attacking him, and then at the same time we see this massive open world gameplay with tons of crazy new bosses and stealth and deserts and horses, and I just love the fact that I don't know what to expect from this game.